Hello, everybody, and welcome to Toy Geeks. My name is Jay Gladfelter from Geek Dad Life.
And I'm Dan Larson from Secret Galaxy.
And we're here to dive into your favorite toy lines 1 year at a time, or in the case of G.I. Joe, maybe we split up those years and the many, many years and episodes we have done covering the 1980s G.I. Joe. We have reached the end of the line with G.I. Joe, at least the 80s Real American Hero. And Dan, did you ever think this day would come?
It was a long time ago. We were different people when this started.
We were.
Life views, different goals.
It's
tough because obviously we didn't know we were going to break stuff up, but it's been fun. Like we were just saying before we started recording, it's like I hope people still listened, checked in, even if they didn't like G.I. Joe.
Yes.
I can understand how that could be kind of a drag. So we'll finish today. We'll come back later on when people have come back and found the show and been like, oh, it's not just a G.I. Joe show. They talk about lots of other stuff too. They did a whole episode on Teddy Ruxpin.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that it is, sometimes I guess the drawback to this show is if you're like, well, I hate G.I. Joe, I'll check back in with them. And then maybe you did it a couple months in, 4 months in, and then we're still blowing it up.
Loving this show. Can't wait for them to quit G.I. Joe. Like, get back to the show that I liked.
But hopefully I hope people tuned in that maybe didn't like G.I. Joe. They're like, oh, this is kind of cool. All right, I dig it. Or I see why people like this thing.
That's how we've always approached our show, is like, regardless of the subject matter, we hope you just come back because you enjoyed the personalities. You enjoyed the jokes and the comments and the stories of, my life as a shoplifter and, whatever.
Some of your best shoplifting stories have been through this G.I. Joe series.
It's, what? It's too bad. That's not, I'll tell you right now, that's not going to come back around again until Transformers.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's really all
right.
That's not true. Actually, I just thought of a couple other lines. Are we going to do Guts? Are we ever going to do Guts?
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah, we will.
I stole some definitely Transformers, G.I. Joe, Guts, some Starcom. I definitely stole some Starcom stuff.
Yep.
So I guess there's a couple lines.
Listen, every line's on the table. The only one you've said no to is wrestling. And I feel like eventually we could maybe convince you to do something.
You want to spend a lot of time on a line? Yeah, let's start wrestling. I mean, obviously you can break it up and do like, oh, we're only going to do the old Hasbro. We're only going to do the LGN.
Exactly. We'd only do little subsets. Not every. Oh, good lord, no, we couldn't do that.
Jesus.
But yeah. So today we're doing the vehicles. Oh, but before we get, I did the math. I wanted to see like how many minutes did we talk about G.I. Joe in the 80s? Over 1,000 minutes.
Okay.
Of G.I. Joe content.
How many hours is that?
I don't know. Divide that by 60. 1,000 divided by 60. It was 1,100.
Right.
Divided by 60. That's 18.3 hours.
Wow. That's like, so I mean, how many shows was that? 8, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9. So there was 8 years.
Yep. And then we started splitting at 87.
3 of them, I think got split into 2. So it's like 11 shows ish that ran over an hour each.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, like, say your Real American Hero that you did for, what's the longest one that you have done for Secret Galaxy for Real American Hero?
Just a single video?
Yeah.
The Godzilla video that we posted today.
Oh, how long is that? I didn't see the time.
It's like 31 minutes.
Oh, insane.
Yeah.
That should be fun though. But still, so there you go. That's the beauty of podcasts, or maybe the why you hate podcasts. 18 hours on one subject. You gotta love it.
I think that's what podcasts are for. It's the long haul, it's the nuance, it's the cross-country drive, it's the commute to work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you can easily spend 18 hours in your car in a commute in 1 week. Easily.
That's what I love about like a good Blank Check with Griffin and David is one of my favorite podcasts. And their episodes, they'll go for like 3. They used to do Jaws because they're doing Steven Spielberg right now, and their Jaws episode was 3 hours, and I was like, just gonna parcel this out throughout the week. It's perfect. All right, so we're doing vehicles for 89. Then we're taking a break from G.I. Joe. And we're going to take a break next week because you will be traveling. And so I think in the channel, I got to make sure everybody's cool with it, that we're guests on the show during this, but I'll try and get the rest of the videos posted up on the YouTube channel next, not next week. Next week will be, this episode will premiere the week following that, since we're taking next week off from recording. We'll be trying to catch up the video to all of the G.I. Joe stuff that we've done. But then when we come back, I think we should do Inhumanoids.
It's Joe adjacent. It is Joe adjacent.
Is it technically?
Technically, yeah. Technically, it exists in the same sort of canonical world as far as the animated series is connected by Hector Ramirez. And what's his name? Brad Armbruster, Brad the Ace from G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
He was sort of one of the characters in that as well. His Sky Striker crashes. It's not called Sky Striker. His airplane crashes and he gets a suit of armor, turned in. His little Iron Man suit is from his airplane. But yeah, it's and the figures, I think the heads on the guys on the human characters are G.I. Joe size heads, and then they just have those ridiculously oversized. Well, let's not get into my critique of the line just yet.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we'll save it when we get into it. If you're watching this on YouTube, I've shifted the camera to my Inhumanoids collection. But yeah, so that should be a fun next series that we'll jump into. But today we're doing vehicles for 1989, and let's just jump into it, right?
Yeah, why not? That's why we're here. Let's get to it.
Exactly. So using 3D Joes here if you want to play along at home, or if you're watching this on the YouTube channel. And we're going alphabetically, and we'll start with Arctic Blast.
There's been like two categories, right? Like, good and bad, I guess. But there's those ones that feel like they had a lot of development, and they're sort of substantial in their build and their construction.
Sure.
This ain't that. No. I do think this has rubber tires, though.
Yes, it doesn't look like the plasticky just pop on,
Yeah, I mean those. So, take me through this visually. If I'm only listening right now, you've described this to me.
Two big wheels,
very big wheels, like monster truck size wheels. Yeah,
but I don't think there's a third wheel. I don't think
so either. No, it's got that like gyroscopic thing where it balances itself. It's automatic. And then there's like a roll cage and a seat.
That's it.
This looks like something you built on a farm over the summer because you were bored. And these were the parts you had. But hey, look, two gunners on there.
Yeah, that's cool. The Packin figure is kind of cool.
He's cool.
Wind chill.
Which
he is going to be wind chill because there's no windshield. It's just
he's going to be cold. Even just on a mildly cool day, he's going to be chilly.
So I think these are the vehicles that kind of leave me feeling meh of the later years, where it's just kind of, it doesn't feel complete.
It's literally almost nothing. It's literally like two wheels and then almost nothing else.
Yes. And it's not really everything else besides the wheels, just not very compelling in terms of its look.
Yeah.
So, but maybe it's just at a price point that it served a purpose, but it's nothing. This leaves no lasting impression beyond the big wheels and a decent Packin figure.
Can I was just Googling. Can I?
Yeah. Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely. Here, plus you in. Remove mine and then add yours, and there you go. Wait.
What's this?
Is it a coloring sticker fun?
A sticker fun book with this vehicle just right square on the cover, like it is the star of the show.
That's wild.
And then 3 absolutely, I don't know what a G.I. Joe guy looks like, guys. Like the most generic Christmas trees in the background that you've ever seen in your life. Like daddy, draw me a Christmas tree. And you're like, here goes 2 lightning bolts that connect at the top.
Yeah, that's so maybe the people at Hasbro they had big expectations.
Yeah, shake up the market in 1989.
But the figure's cool. His skis have little machine guns on them.
Yes, for sure.
Let me plus this in. I got it teed up here. in 3 dimensions. He's got little machine guns on his
That's
toes.
cool. I have to say that's cool. They look like they have actual like magazines where you have to like switch out the ammo. You know, like that'd be a cool, you know, John Woo thing to do. It's like flipping through the air and he clears the chambers and pops in 2 new magazines. I appreciate that. I assume he's got some sort of remote firing mechanism, or maybe it's like in his heel or something. You know,
That's
just
what
on it just right and toe trigger.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I think.
Yeah.
The idea of getting paid to drive fast, heavily armed snow vehicles was more appealing than winning medals. I guess he's an Olympic skier. Could have been.
Yep. Says cross country skiing and target shooting. Yep.
Almost both. You know, I love that at the Olympics, the cross country ski target.
It's such a weird event.
Right?
It's such a weird event. Like they should just do that randomly with 2 other sports, like just cause.
Yeah.
Like, cross country skiing and shooting.
I love on the figures like, we had highlight, and here we've got cross country skiing.
Yeah, they should do like swimming and like I don't know, shooting hoops or something. Like you got to do like 5 laps, then you got to take 2 free throws, and then
I mean, that's basically water polo, right? Like
I guess it'd be funny if you had to jump out of the pool though.
Yeah, that's true.
Like dive back in.
So there you go. Arctic Blast, underwhelming vehicle, but kind of a cool figure. All right, next up is the Cobra Condor Z25.
Very cool vehicle. This thing is so cool.
Agreed.
I don't. It's got a weird sort of, what would you call that hoop on the back? What do they call the hoop on the back? I wonder.
I saw a cool like fin, but yeah, let's see. What are they?
The back of the box doesn't say what the name of that hoop is. I don't know if it's like one of those, you know, they have like the bladeless fans that you can buy, you know, where it's just sort of like this weird. I don't even know how they work. I think it works with like magnets or something.
No, we're talking about like the Dyson ones.
Yeah. Where it's just no blades, but it moves the air.
Yeah, so it sucks. There's a little fan in the base, and it sucks up the air, and then it pushes it through the ring.
Okay.
So maybe that's what this is doing. It's
maybe
the jet engine is forcing the air through the tube, and then it shoots out.
Because I think if I'm remembering correctly, I have owned this before. So the instructions say it's a gun ring.
Oh.
And so the ring can rotate, or it's just attached there. But
it does rotate. It does rotate.
Yeah. So it's just an interesting approach to a gun. And that rear seat is a gunner seat. And then, of course, I don't know if people aren't familiar with this vehicle. The vehicle can separate into 2 independent fighters.
Okay, I really like this rotating gun thing, because that's kind of a cool, like if you have your gunner back there, you can kind of see it, you know, like kind of rotating around depending on where the guy is or whatever. That's really cool.
Nah, I don't know that it really needs to do that. I don't know how much more range it gives that gunner. It's a cool thing, sure. I'm sure it, you know, wowed the executives at Cobra when they were like, "Ooh, we've never seen anything like that before." Sure, you know, it's a nice signature piece, but I don't know how functional it actually is in terms of proving, you know, range or firing capacity or anything like that. But I do like the you know, the back half of the airplane becomes sort of a, you know, V-winged kind of fighter, and then the front half is more just like a, I don't know, flying rocket. But I do think that's neat. And look at the capacity. Look at all the bombs in those wings.
Jeez.
There's like, what does it say? 14 bombs per wing. It just looks so cool. And it's got that translucent cover on it. I dig this one a lot. And again, retractable landing gear, 2 cockpits. Yeah, 5 stars for me.
The only thing I would say is at least I know it's a Cobra vehicle, but it kind of feels G.I. Joe coded a little bit. So
I agree. It's the colors.
Yeah.
If you just made that, you know, blue like the Rattler or black like the Night Raven, it's very much, it moves more into Cobra territory for sure. But as it is, I do dig that paint scheme and that design. I like it a lot. If I owned it, if I had it on display or whatever, I'd never break it into 2 things. I would just always keep it as that one.
Agreed. But again, to your point, like it's cool as the you know, whatever you'd call that. This is kind of pointless when it comes off, but I do like the idea of this being a plane that shoots off and has a little jet engine in the back. It's really cool. And then the Condor's driver is
Aero Viper. He is a pirate, yeah. He looks better with the helmet on than the helmet off, for sure.
Zorro kind of thing going
Yeah.
on. Yeah, Arrow Viper. He's kind of cool. I kind of dig him.
Yeah, he's not bad. Again, we've talked about how much cooler all the helmets would be if they actually had translucent visors. How it would have just made such a difference on that thing. Weird that it's a gold helmet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it definitely feels like last time with Owen, we were talking about, you know, guys who are Iron Grenadiers versus guys who aren't. And there's just no consistency as to who actually has gold on them and who doesn't.
Exactly.
I feel like the gold should just automatically mean you're an Iron Grenadier.
Agreed.
But I don't think that's the case here.
Nope. I think it's just like gold is cool. I like gold.
Yeah, this is just straight up Cobra.
But I like that he has a little bit of gold on his suit. He's got the kind of his hips right here, and then a little whatever that is. It's cool.
Yeah, for sure. Yep, I dig him.
It's pretty good.
Keep the helmet on.
Yeah, keep the helmet on. Next up is the Cobra Fang II, the sequel.
The sequel. Now with more blades, more rotors.
With your favorite figure in the driver's seat here, at least featured on 3D Joe's.
God, the Heat Viper. Now look at that Heat Viper. Is he looking straight ahead or is he looking to the right on the box art? On the box art, like how do you see out of that helmet? I mean, I guess that in the photo of the vehicle itself it's positioned the same way. We don't need to give him any more static. I already gave him enough last time.
It is a good point though, because like would it mess with his like depth perception because his eyes are like separated into two different.
It's so dumb because like I love the Alley Viper, right? And the Alley Viper doesn't have anything on his visor. Once you put that visor down, like the card art and the Alley Viper tried to cheat it a little bit and say that it went down far enough so that his eyes were still looking through the sort of you know gap there.
Yes.
But Classified sort of reinvented that as no, there's like digital screen in there and he can see through the camera on his shield and stuff. So it's like, I don't know why I have a problem with this with Heat Viper, but I don't have a problem with Alley Viper. I don't know this guy.
Because I think it's the separation thing. And especially on the figure. Yeah, exactly. But it's like, at least in the art, it seemed like, okay, there was like two sections and they were kind of different structure to it. In the figure itself, it is totally asymmetrical. Where like there's only one part that your mind can imagine is what he can see through. And it's just so silly.
Now, do those rotors pivot? Is this like an Osprey where they pivot or they only go forward? And this is basically just like a, oh no, okay, they do pivot. All right.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever actually owned this one.
I have not either.
All right. So yeah, it's just like a little mini Osprey.
But this is where, you know, I at least this feels like a vehicle versus the Arctic Blast, where it's just like, it's just kind of like a chair with wheels.
Yeah. No, this looks cool. This is a nice sci-fi. I think it's a little over missiled.
Sure.
I think it's got a few too many missiles. You got to duck when you pull the trigger on those top two. Be careful. You get caught in the blast. But I dig it. I like the little sort of the wings there that kind of are going down at like a 45-degree angle. I dig that.
Yes.
Yeah, no, this is a fun little, you know, this is right in line with the Trouble Bubble and the Fang one, and you know, yep, it's a good one.
Yep, agreed. All right, let's keep going on to sequel to one of the greatest vehicles of all time, the Cobra HISS II. And it's not just a repaint, it's like
this is a full rebuild.
Yeah. And the color scheme is one thing, but at least it's doing new stuff and it's cool. I dig it. But where do you stand on this guy?
I think I would love it if I didn't know about the HISS one. You know,
okay.
Like this is definitely, like you said, this is doing stuff that the HISS one doesn't do. It's got that drop down section, almost like a mouth on the front, you know, for the driver. It's got that whole back end that pulls out.
Yeah.
More guns on top. It pivots, you know, it's similar, but it's doing so much more. But the design of this thing, like you go from that sleek black, you know, just very simple blocky tank with the giant treads. And then this to me almost feels like something from like Battlestar Galactica. Like this almost doesn't fit to me as a G.I. Joe thing, and definitely doesn't feel like Cobra for some reason, even though the general silhouette of that tank is still basically the same.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's like I totally get that, because like one of the appeal of that HISS tank is it's like DeLorean-esque kind of just straight panels and stuff like that. And this, I think they're trying to enhance it, and they put all these little like fiddly bits everywhere.
Yeah. Have you ever built like a newer Gundam model kit where you build the
No, I'm
inner
not
frame
talented
first?
whatsoever.
So you
No.
build the inner frame first,
Okay.
and then you put all the panels on it, and then it looks like it has, you know, the armor and whatever. And that's what this sort of feels like. Is like this is the inner frame of the HISS II, and now you got to put the actual panels on it, and then you go, oh, now it looks like the HISS I. It just has all this additional functionality.
That's a really great observation. Because, yeah, you could totally see this being all the inner workings underneath the paneling. Yeah, absolutely. That'd be really cool. I'd love to see someone, like, I don't know, work that out, I guess. I don't know how you would do it, but that would be really cool, because I like the additions. I like the pull-out little seating area in the back. I like that you can put 2 drivers or 2 people in the front cockpit, and it comes down. Like, I like those additions, but I do agree it does lose some of that charisma that the original HISS had.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, maybe it would be different if, like, again, if I didn't know about the HISS I, I don't think this color scheme would bother me at all. But, you know, it's like you say HISS, and I'm like, no, it should be black. It should be black. Does it come in black?
Exactly. It does come with a driver track Viper, and it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, he's all right. He's fine.
Yeah,
it's got a visor that I wish was, you know, again, translucent, and either had like a human face under there, or a lizard guy face, or even a robot parts or something, you know, just a little bit more character.
Because it definitely looks like a robot, because
it definitely looks like a robot, and it is smaller than a human head.
Yes.
Does he have a file card? What's his file card?
Yeah, he does have a file card. Let's bring it up here. And
does it say anything about the Track Viper? The Track Viper can single-handedly drive the vehicle 100 cars, blah, blah, blah. Sounds like they're just guys.
Yeah. But if you look at the figure, the head does not look like a human being's head is in there.
Yeah. Way too small.
Yeah, and it's the only GI Joe I can think of that actually like it doesn't stay round, like it's just a rectangle behind the front of it.
For sure. He's all right. I don't hate him. It's just, I don't know, man. You put that next to the first HISS driver, and this guy just looks like he's no personality, nothing going on there. And that HISS driver just like knock him down with looks alone.
Exactly. No, I agree there. All right, let's go to, you know what? Maybe you couldn't afford the Defiant, you know? Well, how about you get yourself a 1989 Crusader, which is a repaint. It's not really a repaint, but just like a reuse of the shuttle part from the Defiant.
Yeah. Or maybe you're that kid who had 2 Defiants, and you were like, I would like to have 2 different shuttles on my boosters. And so you got this, and then you just have like an extra shuttle laying around for one of your poor friends to come over and play with.
Yeah, Dan, you can play with that one over there.
I don't use that one. I already have one of those.
I've always dug this one. I have owned this one, you know, just as being a collector, not being a kid. But I like how they brought in the Night Raven's shuttle.
Yes.
As like, you know, a little shuttle inside of it.
Yeah. So that's quality reuse right there.
Right? And it fits really well.
Very cool.
Yeah, I
so
really
unexpected.
And is Joe. Is this the same? Is it just repainted from the
that's a good question.
I've never owned the figure.
It is it's the same figure, just repainted. This is payload version 2.
Yeah.
There's payload version 1. The previous one had silver, where this one has yellow.
Which silver is more like classic, you know, astronaut.
Yeah, space guy. Sure. Yeah. Sure.
But this one looks really good too. Like, to me, if you can't swing I don't know. Are these expensive on the secondary market? I kind
I
of want
don't
one of these
know.
now.
I
I'm
don't
kind of
know.
like,
Yeah.
I want to go buy this
Yeah.
because I want one again.
The ship and the figure, or just the figure?
The figure, I think I want ship and figure.
Yeah.
It's a really good set. I will say the one problem here is this plastic does yellow, so it'd probably be hard to find like a crispy.
Yeah,
clean-
that's gonna probably be real cream colored at this
Yeah.
point. Hang on, I'm doing a quick eBay here.
Yeah.
What do we got? What do we got? We want it complete. Buy it now. Oof.
Oh, is it expensive?
Yeah, you're probably not gonna want to get the whole thing. You gotta. You're gonna. That's
Wait.
not right.
Oh, no, that's a engine. I mean, but
Put a
here you go,
GI
right
Joe.
here.
Put a GI Joe.
450, but well, this guy's usually pretty pricey. This Wheeljack slab,
Yeah,
he's always showing
but
up.
still, there's definitely other
That's too
listings
much.
that, yeah. Hey, there's just the little Night Raven drone shuttle thing that is like the color of fancy butter, and it's $40 free shipping.
If I ever learn how to do retro bright, I would do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh dang, it's too expensive. Well, this one's with box. That's still 440. That's way too
440.
much. That's way
no.
too much.
I think you're SOL on that one.
Damn it. Oh, is this the one you were talking about?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Jesus. Woof.
It looks like it. If you're listening to this, I'm sorry, but if you're watching this,
GI Joe Depot,
like...
if you're watching, just send that to Jay, please.
No one will buy this.
He'll pay for shipping.
Yeah. All right. So I'll give up on my Crusader dreams. They were fun while they lasted, but this is a fun reuse. I think this is a really good reuse.
I agree. Quality.
Let's keep moving on here to the Mudfighter.
Could have been a guy's name. Instead, it's a ship.
Which it's like, is this thing? I guess it's fighting through swamps or whatever.
Sure.
I get. Well, the art has it. It's like Vietnam or something. Like,
yeah, I don't know. It's definitely a swampy looking territory there. Does it say? Does it have a distinction on the back? Mudfighter. Like, it doesn't have to be in the mud. Like, that could fly anywhere, right? Like, what about it makes it mud fighting?
Nothing.
On the back, it says top right corner there. With all the escape routes blocked, General Hawk orders a squadron of low-flying mud fighters to bomb enemy positions to clear a path for the entrapped GI Joe strike force. But that could be anywhere. That could be in the snow. That could be like anywhere.
I guess you could just say like, oh, you're getting down in the mud. You know, you're fighting on the ground or whatever.
I guess.
I don't know. It's a stretch. It's a stretch. It's probably just like Mudfighter. That's a name. We'll just call it.
Yeah, and I'm all set with modern military aircraft that are like propeller powered.
Yeah.
I think we need that. Like spaceships and stuff.
Yeah, we haven't advanced the jet engines on our low range.
Hey, look, I know you need to go a little slower in some places. We were just I was just saying how cool the Fang II looked, and that's just a double-bladed helicopter thing, basically. Why am I giving this one a hard time? Because of its washing machine propeller on the back there. What's the big deal?
Because there's no vehicle like this. Like, at least there's Ospreys, so there's like a real world application.
I think this falls into that. It's armed.
I
think this falls in that cheap category too, though.
It does. It does.
The build on this thing.
It does look cheap, but I'm almost like giving it some extra points that at least it looks like something. Again, unlike Arctic Blast, where it's just like a cage with wheels.
Yeah, sure, true. So, yeah.
There's a cockpit. There's no plastic for the glass of the cockpit. It's just like, you have to pretend it's
in the
there.
breeze. Yeah.
But yeah, it's fine.
It's fine. I think if I had that as a kid, I probably would have just pulled that propeller right off the back and then just had it. I think that improves the silhouette to my eye a million times, just taking that propeller off.
Agreed. It looks kind of funky with it on there. Dogfight, who is the Mudfighter pilot, is fine. He's just kind of a generic mustached.
Yeah.
Actually, you love bomber jackets. He's
cool. I dig the jacket. I dig the hat. I dig the aviator glasses. Having a real hard time not thinking that this is just Wild Bill, like you know,
Mm-hmm.
flying a different vehicle. He's very Wild Bill-ish.
Yes.
But
He's
he's
his
fine. I
cousin.
dig him. Yeah.
Um,
He's from
Wild.
Providence, Rhode Island, like a lot of G.I. Joe stuff.
Yeah. Wild Will. Next up we got the Raider. And if you are listening, it is a tank that can separate in.
Just one real quick. I'm just reading the file card for Dogfight here.
Oh,
and
yeah, sure,
I'm just
sure.
imagining Larry Hama just being like, I gotta do another one of these. I've done so many of these things. Dogfight was permanently 86th from every carnival and county fair in Alabama for winning too many stuffed bears.
Damn, we're really scraping at the barrel here.
I mean, yeah, it gives him some personality. It's, you know, a little thing. I don't know. It says forcibly ejected and forbidden to return. You got too many bears.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
I guess that means he's accurate with.
Yeah, it says he's got a good eye for shooting stuff.
Okay, cool. Good for you. I'm happy for you, Dogfight. All right, Raider. It's a tank that separates into a little tank and then like a thing that pops up for. It's not one of those weird later G.I. Joe vehicles.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, once again, I feel like this belongs in the Battlestar Galactica, and I'm talking the 70s Battlestar Galactica, not the 2000s Galactica. This is like 1970s. You know, even with the toys, the toys back then, Mattel had this sort of gimmick where you could, like, you know, interchange the parts. They were modular, snap it in half, make this new thing, whatever. And man, this feels like it just is right in there. You know.
Yeah,
that looks like a Battlestar Galactica vehicle to me. Now I kind of want it as a Battlestar Galactica vehicle. I'm like, it's a terrible G.I. Joe vehicle, but a great Battlestar Galactica vehicle. But this feels like
gonna love it.
It's in line with that the Battle Force 2000 stuff, where it was like that modularity was a thing. You know, each one sort of had a hidden surprise and transformed into something else, and you know, there's a mask component to this. This kind of is mask-ish, you know.
Sure, but like, there had to have been some type of, I don't know, research that said kids wanted this.
Yeah.
But like, did anybody like, I had G.I. Joe toys in this era, but like at no point was this something that I wanted out of a G.I. Joe vehicle. Like, but it had to have been successful.
I did not know this vehicle existed back then. In fact, if you had asked me about it 5 minutes ago, I would not have known anything about it. If you put this in front of me and it didn't have any stickers on it, I would have said that's a weird, you know, 4-inch scale Battlestar Galactica vehicle. I've seen before. Absolutely. But if I had been, you know, a kid on vacation and got this at Toys R Us or something, I would have had fun with it.
Sure, like, it seems fine, but it's just not. Whatever. It's a thing. But it's not terrible. Like, I don't think anybody's like clamoring like, oh man, you gotta do Raider in the classifieds.
No, I don't think this one's on the short list.
And then
we gotta talk about the driver. Raider team with the driver.
You're right. I skipped the driver. Hot seat. He's in the hot seat. Let's take a look. He's like 87 years old.
Don't be ageist.
You're right. I'm sorry. I have gray hair myself. I shouldn't be talking, but it's very gray. Anyway,
it's very gray. Hey, maybe he's dyeing it. Maybe that's just his thing.
Yeah, maybe. Could have been a heavyweight contender. He had left jab like a jackhammer.
30 years ago.
Like Liquid Chris. Exactly. He's fine. His helmet's weird. It's a weird helmet.
Yeah, it's that Battle Force 2000 thing. It doesn't have Battle Force 2000 branding or anything on the box. Right?
No, but you could tell like this was done probably by the same team.
Yeah. I do not like that asymmetrical helmet at all. I don't mind the microphone, but
whoever was in those meetings, like, no, listen, guys, 89, it's all about asymmetry.
Asymmetry. Yeah. That's the future.
He's fine, I guess. All right, let's move on to Thunderclap. Another could be Battle Force 2000 setup. it's like a 2-part tank thing with a big old gun in the middle.
God, it is so Battlestar Galactica. I'm just gonna keep saying that, and people are gonna be like, "What are you talking about? What do you mean it looks like Battlestar Galactica stuff? What are you talking about?"
Well, it does look like boxy space vehicles.
Yes, and those cockpits and the
Mm-hmm.
treads and the dull gray and all of the, yes. This is a Battlestar Galactica vehicle.
Yeah, and it's just not very compelling. Like I do wonder like what design aesthetic led them to this, because it's not even like it's space age, but it's like dated space age even for 1989.
And that's kind of it's almost charming me about it now. Actually, like I'm going around on it, like as we're talking about it, I'm like, you know what? That's
actually
retro charm, like it's like even when it was new, it was brand new, just rolled off the assembly line. It had retro charm,
It did. It really did.
Because
if you think about it, like 1989, that's when you already have this like aerodynamic components to like cars and stuff like that. They were leaving this stuff behind.
But this is such a weird thing, because normally it would be like, this giant cannon would like those two little vehicles would like clamp onto it or something, and it would just be one big moving vehicle. But this is just two tiny little land tugboats that like bring this giant cannon out there, drop it, and then just kind of rove around it, right? Like while they're shooting it.
Yes.
Oh, you need to turn 5 degrees to the left. Hang on, let's hook up. Pivot, 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 put it back down, drive around.
It's not the most efficient use of
if I'm not mistaken, because I have had this one before, I think the cannon actually has a spring launching firing missile.
Okay.
That propels out of it.
That's pretty cool.
Let me see the back of the box here.
You can tell it has that mechanism where the little spring load, it comes down.
Sliding ejector mechanism discharges shells from cannon.
Sounds it's right here. You have the shell that goes in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's got that real, like, firing sort of, you put the thing in, you lock it into place, bolt action, I think it's called.
Yep.
Yeah. That's neat. That's a neat.
Yeah, it's a cool gun. It's a cool gun. It's an interesting set. Like, because when you think of earlier on in G.I. Joe, like the more expensive vehicles were incredible, right? They've had some insane ones, and this one feels like let's throw 3 things in one box and call it deluxe.
Well, and man, just those early designs, especially, they were just so iconic. And I know it's hard to maintain that. You can't make everything look iconic.
Sure.
But so many of them, just the whirlwind, the flak, all of that stuff, the HAL, like they just had those. And I know a lot of them were based on real things here and there, whatever, but they were still sci-fi'd up a little bit. And G.I. Joe sort of had its own aesthetic. This, I get it. It's a toy. You got to build some play mechanisms into these things. And what do you have here? This bolt action cannon, 2 little vehicles that tool around and stuff. So I get the play value of it, but from iconic visual standpoint, this is not it.
No, agreed. So there's the Thunderclap. All right, so that's all of the main, or at least new
we got a driver. We got a driver.
Oh shoot! I keep trying to drop past the drivers. I'm so sorry.
You're gonna skip this man in his asymmetrical helmet? What are you doing?
And I love that long range. His little asymmetry is the opposite of what's his name?
Yeah, I don't know what his name was. Yeah.
You
can see out your right eye. I can see out my left eye. Yeah. Everybody's getting a rangefinder. You get a rangefinder. You get a rangefinder.
Hey, can I just have both of my eyes have it? No.
No, we're not doing binoculars. Get out of here. What kind of budget you think we have?
This ain't 85 G.I. Joe, okay?
We cut the optics budget in half. Everybody gets
literally in half.
He's got some thigh-high boots on. Good there, long range.
Yeah. Like Gene Simmons. This feels like a Battle Force 2000 figure. It just feels like a futuristic puffy suit thing that just doesn't do anything for me.
Very drab, very boring colors.
Yeah, I'm not feeling.
Where's barbecues colors? Where's blowtorches colors?
Exactly.
Carl Fritz.
Asleep at the wheel, I think, in terms of this design.
And a lot of these guys have been from Rhode Island, Providence, Pawtucket, Warwick. feel like I'm
Again,
back
they're
home.
just they're just yeah, they're just it's fine. Nobody's reading these things anymore anyway. All right, let's move on from the main releases to some sublines. We got Battle Force 2000.
Proper, yeah.
Got the Pulverizer.
Pulverizer. What is the? There's
Is
a play
that?
gimmick on this. What is this?
It's like those little like pop
Yeah.
accordion things.
A little plunger kind of thing. No, not plunger, but like oh, and hey, look who's driving it. It's that guy with the 2 guns.
Oh yeah, his taped together guns. I think I hate this. I think this is my least favorite
I'm
one.
trying. What is? Can we see the back of the box in there?
Sure.
You have
sure.
a back box. Okay.
Yeah.
Positional railgun, serial distance, extension tube elevates gun turret. It doesn't fire like slime or anything?
No, but it looks like it would.
It's not. Yeah, it looks like a squirt gun. Like it should propel a missile or something or whatever. But no, it's literally just a bendy straw that like pops open, gives a little bit more height.
It's a thing. Like it'll probably make a satisfying sound, like sound as it goes up.
Yeah.
But it is a cheapo toy. It's like a dollar store toy. It's like something like my kids love these little tubes you put together, but they're like $3 at Target.
Fidget toy kind of thing. Yeah,
and it makes this already silly Battle Force 2000 vehicle look like a stupid toy. Like it doesn't look anything like a.
Hey, props to the guy who wrote or gal, whoever wrote the blueprint copy here. It describes that extension tube as composite fiber flexible HHR high heat resistant energy transport duct.
Damn.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
They're putting some spin on that one.
We put our best people on this job.
Yeah. So for those of us, or for those out there that have criticized us for being so hard on Battle Force 2000, listen.
Sorry.
When you call them as we see them.
I don't know. This is a tough one.
All right, next up we got the Battlefield robots. And first up, these are like little vehicles. All 4 Battlefield robots were designed by Guy Cassidy. He optimized cost by utilizing the maroon gun missiles and whip antenna on both Cobra Battlefield robots and gray wheels, green whip antenna missiles and missile rack on both G.I. Joe Battlefield robots.
Why are they called robots?
I don't know.
They're just
little vehicles. Yeah,
they're just like little go-karts. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
This is G.I. Joe Kart. Battlefield Robot Devastator. Oh, they borrowed that name.
Mm-hmm. This one's kind of cool. I dig it.
Yeah, it's a little 3-wheel tank thing.
Yeah.
Got the Alley Viper driving it there.
Exactly.
Messed up visor again.
It's like, hey, we can see. He can see.
It's fine. That one kind of reminds me of the Polar Battle Bear, the snowmobile, a little bit.
Yep. Agreed. Let's get it's using for that too. And then we got the hovercraft, which is just a bathtub.
That I was gonna say that's a soap dish.
Yeah, a soap dish. Yes.
It's a soap dish with hovercraft engines on it and 4 missiles.
Like you couldn't just kind of shape it up a little bit.
Yeah, no, it's just straight up a soap dish. So drab. The colors are so drab.
Yeah, that one's not so hot. But again, you made the engines for the hovercraft. You could just like gave it a little bit of a nose or something.
Yeah. It's literal, just a square.
It is, yeah.
That's due today. Uh-oh. That's what. Yeah. That's what that looks like.
the sculpting wax or whatever they use, it was already in that square.
No. Puts the hovercraft engines on there. Couple of missiles, puts an antenna in it. I gotta work on the next one. There's 3 more of these things I gotta get at 4:00.
Oh my god, that's absolutely what happened.
Yeah.
That is it. That's pure. That's canon now. And we got the radar rat. So the G.I. Joe side, it's fine.
Yeah. Oh, it's
a little.
I don't know. Looks a little flimsy. That antenna with those missiles on it does not look like it would hold up well.
instantly broken.
Yeah. I mean, I could see this just sort of like, you know, when we covered the sort of battlefield implements, right? Like there was like the bivouac, it was just like a little canopy with a cot and there's a little tent thing and whatever. Some of those are really nice. I like the world building aspect of it. So I could see this just sort of like out there, like out on the battlefield of your living room or whatever, as a radar post that, you know, Cobra's trying to attack and you got to use your Joes to make sure they don't take out the antenna before the message gets out and whatever. But as far as like being a fun vehicle to like drive around and play with, I don't think so.
Yeah. And then the Tri-Blaster, which is almost like the same thing.
It's literally the same antenna with missiles.
Yeah.
And then just more on like a race car kind of thing with the absolute worst wheels ever.
Yeah.
Those were terrible.
Yeah,
I don't know. I would probably have been not super psyched to get that as a kid.
Agreed. Agreed. It's almost like an instant trash. The Iron Grenadiers had some vehicles. So we got the Darklon's Evader. This is kind of cool for a cheaper, smaller vehicle.
Yeah, it's got some style. I don't know. It's never really worked for me.
No,
I like Darklon. I don't like this vehicle. Like I can see it. You know, it definitely looks like it could roll up. Like Judge Dredd would chase this thing, you know,
right?
his, out of Mega City 1. Like that definitely has that vibe to me. RoboCop could go after this thing, you know.
It kind of has a Tron,
little bit light cycle sort of thing. It definitely kind of looks like a Cobra head sort of ish a little bit, but just the sort of like, man, there's nothing to it. It is just hollow and empty and just nothing going on there. And I mean, that looks like, what are we in 89? That 89. Looks like that's a nickel's worth of plastic in 89. Like, and, you know, kudos to them that's making money and keeping costs down. You know, the video we did this week, we recorded today, was about the Cops and Crooks toy line from Hasbro. And, you know, their whole mindset was balance as far as like across their product offerings and low prices. So many toys because of the whole sort of electronics battles and stuff, cost of prices. We've seen what did the RC car cost? $158 or whatever. Like, you know, and so they're really trying to make sure that they have these cheap under $10, under $5, you know, toys for kids.
Yeah.
And in this, you're getting a figure as well. So I get that. I get all of that. I know how the business works. I still don't like this thing. I'm sorry.
I get it. I agree with all of your points, but I actually dig this one just because you're right. There's not much here, but at least it's trying to have some style, unlike some of the other cheaper ones we've seen.
Agree. Yes.
And that's where I'll give it points. That's where I will give it points.
Yeah. It's got a little built a little bit like that Akira bike, you know. Sit in motorcycle.
And I like that the guns are there that could be like the, you know, your controller for driving it, and it has the guns on it. I think that's kind of cool. It does come with a driver as well. And Darklon's cool.
Yeah, he's cool. I dig him. He's got a cool mask, got the tiger stripes or whatever you want to call it on him. What are those pants? Pink?
It looks pink,
yeah.
With orange.
And he's got a signature weapon, you know, as far as I know, nobody else came with that.
Yeah, it's a cool weapon.
Minigun looking thing. It's a little Boba Fettish kind of gun until you get to the barrel, and then it's just a minigun mounted on the end. So he's cool, and we know he's coming in classified. So maybe the Evader is not far behind.
Right. This is an easy vehicle for classified.
Smaller than a Vamp. You know, there's no reason this would need to be bigger than a Vamp. And they could, you know, dress it up a little bit, put some rubber tires on it or something, maybe give it a canopy, some, you know, something.
Exactly. And then they'll be like, this is the coolest thing ever. Jay was there first. And I was like, I know.
Yeah.
People said it was terrible, but I was like, I think it's kind of cool.
I'm the Evader guy.
And then we've got Destro's Razorback. And it's kind of neat. I love bubbles, and this has got bubbles. It's got bubble cockpits.
I love bubbles. No, this was definitely whatever scientists, whatever weapons designer put this together too. They were just like, we got a big deal. We got a deal on glass spheres. And we're going to use them. Like this pairs nicely with the bug. It's
And
interesting, but
right? And unlike the I don't know, whatever that tank that one piece separated and the other thing elevated, like, at least this elevates, but it looks like it's still a part of the thing, and I don't know why you'd
mhm.
wanna do that, but it pushes it out. I don't it's kinda fun. I
And
dig this
does
one.
that sphere, the gunner sphere, does that pop out? Is that part of its battle capacity, or
If
is
it
that just
doesn't,
like
that's
the
a
ring
shame.
where no? Oh no, I think it's just there for
Yeah.
just cool design.
But I dig that. I dig that a lot, that you see the sphere underneath it.
Mhm.
I dig in again, Iron Grenadiers, what's their color schemes or whatever, but I kinda dig this yellow, like, with a slight touch of orange kinda thing, like yellow orange look
Mhm,
to it.
mhm,
I really dig the
mhm.
color with the blue on the plastic and then the
Do
orange
you
yellow.
do you remember the 12-inch? So we're going back to like GI Joe Adventure Team era.
Mhm. Yeah.
There was like a kind of like a bus looking vehicle kind of thing. This
Yeah.
reminds me of like, oh, let's reinvent that for the
Mm.
90s, like
Yeah.
this. But so like if this was on GI Joe, I'd say, oh, they did that on purpose. They're trying to
Mhm.
call back to that vehicle. But being on Cobra, it's like, maybe they just maybe it's just a coincidence. What was that thing called?
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah. Like I really want to bring it up on screen now. Oh, it's the
What's it called?
official. Oh, it's called mobile support vehicle from 1972. The GI Joe mobile support vehicle.
Yeah, this guy. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, yeah. That's what it reminds me of.
Mhm. It's because the front cockpit is so
Hmm.
similar to
Hmm.
it, plus the yellow paint scheme or whatever.
Yeah, like that vehicle, the Razorback, looks like they said, let's reinvent that as like a new space age. Give it still kind of have
Mhm.
some of it, like a little bit of a 60s, retro kind of vibe. That's what it feels like to me. That kind
Yeah,
of makes me like it now. I kind of like it
exactly.
because I talked myself into it.
He did it a few times
Yeah, no.
today.
Dan, what do you think of 1989 vehicles? Coming in, I hated them all. Going out, I liked them all. Yeah.
It's just you with all of them in your arms. It's
Exactly.
like,
Yeah.
well,
See ya.
I collect these now. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. All right, let's keep on going
There's a
here.
driver. There's a driver.
Oh shoot!
Just leaving all the drivers out.
Oh my, what
Wild
is
boar.
wrong with me tonight? Wild boar, wild boar. Aside from the hose, I love a good hose. This is boring
He is so
AF.
boring. Like he does not even look like a GI Joe figure, and he's got
Like,
such a
what is this
tiny, wee
guy?
little, tiny head.
Like, he looks like some generic dude from like a 30s movie or like serial or
Is there a
something.
picture there with his helmet on?
No, maybe he usually
Come on,
puts
Carson.
he usually has them in well, he's in the thing.
Doesn't help.
No, it doesn't.
Just like a little
Yeah.
hat. Like I can't even tell what that helmet is. Like it doesn't even look like a cool helmet. Like putting the helmet on him doesn't help him. It doesn't make
No.
him better. Ah, that's too bad.
That is awful. This might be maybe the worst driver in the whole toy line.
Terrible. It's not good.
It's awful. This is worse than a knockoff GI Joe.
What is his hose attached to?
To his wrist, there's like a little peg
Oh,
on
is it
the
his wrist? Oh,
yeah.
okay. I thought it was going around.
Why?
I thought it was going around the back door.
That would
Sure, what's
that
happening there?
that would make sense. Why would your helmet connect to your wrist?
I have no idea. Maybe it's just one of those security things. Like it's not a hose. It's just like, don't lose your helmet. It's attached to my wrist. Cobra Commander.
But it's like, oh, look over there. Ah, crap! I pulled my
Yeah.
head.
Too funny. It's like when you get up and you have your headphones on. And you're like,
Yeah,
Jesus
exactly. Ah,
Christ,
crap.
yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. God, those colors are so boring. He looks like he should be a diver. Like he looks like he should put on his,
Yes.
breather and then jump in the water. Ugh.
Wild boar.
2 thumbs down.
More like wild boring.
Yeah.
That's
I'll
bad.
say he's a bore.
Wildly
Woof.
boar. All right, let's go on to the Night Force, where we've got a
Crossover.
Night
We got a
Boomer.
good guy vehicle. Oh, wait, no, we're still Night Force. I keep thinking these are Cobra. This is the color scheme. This should
So
be Cobra.
I agree. I agree because in Tiger Force we got the Rattler as a good guy vehicle.
Yes.
It'd be kind of, I mean, it'd probably even weirder if you had a Sky Striker as a bad guy vehicle, but like this looks like a bad guy Sky Striker.
Like a bad guy vehicle, and it looks so damn cool. And I didn't know it existed because I think what, Sears exclusive or something. And
yeah,
I mean these things. Oh no, it says Toys R Us exclusive.
Okay.
These things were so rare. I mean, the secondary market prices for these things are stupid. Like even just like the missiles or those engines or any of the stuff. Like good luck. Good luck. You get a Crusader before you get this.
But like
so sharp. God, it's so gorgeous.
It looks great. It looks great. And because you are a Sky Striker aficionado. Like,
love it.
Is this a like have you made peace with not owning it, or is it like one of those things like, God, if I could ever pull this off?
Oh, I wouldn't. Never's probably a strong word. If I had the opportunity to get one, I certainly would not, because you can get it, you got money, you can get anything.
Sure.
But that's not something I would like save up for and buy. It's not my dream to own one or anything.
Okay.
But if I happened to, like, somebody was getting rid of a collection, I got it for a good price, and I flipped everything else, I'd probably hang on to it for sure.
Yeah.
And then eventually I'd say, I know what this thing is worth. I have to sell it. I can't keep it, Maybe Hasbro will reuse that new Sky Striker mold.
Right, like you did all that work, you did all that tooling, Lenny. Come on,
give it to Super 7. They're making O-ring now. Just hand it over to Super 7. Let them put the Night Boomer out. One thing I don't like about the Night Boomer, I don't love the red engine, the exhausts. Sure. I would let those slide though, but I hate the red tip of the nose. It's very Rudolph.
It does look a little silly, like a clown.
But the red missiles are hot.
Yep, agreed.
And I wouldn't have minded if the canopy was red. I wouldn't have had a problem with that either.
Oh, that'd be cool. My question is, and maybe it's a shame we don't have Carson here. Like, did they paint over the Night Striker art with this black?
Why did you have to go there?
I'm sorry. It's the first thought I had.
Oh my God. Ugh. I hope not. You're probably right, but God, I hope not. I would almost prefer that they lost the original Sky Striker art.
I have to know. What year is that? 80.
The Sky Striker? It's probably 83.
83.
Or 82. 84. I don't even know.
I think Sky Striker's 83. Okay, let's just pull it up and see if it's like exactly the same. Because if it is, oh no.
I think it is.
It is, because even the pilot is looking.
Oh God, like, no! Oh God,
they did.
Oh God, no!
They did.
That's terrible. But like, really, they painted over the digital explosion, like over the explosion. Like, I don't know, man. I would literally almost prefer that they just lost the original art. Like somebody had put it in the trash years ago and it was in a fire and fell off a building, then to find out that they painted over it. That would hurt.
It looks exactly the same. I mean, it's slightly, this plane is a little bit different, but they could have shifted it around or something. Yeah. Darren, I'm so sorry.
I don't know. We gotta. I want to phone a friend. Let's talk to Carson.
Is it safe?
What do you know? Yeah. Listen, if you're listening to the show right now and you have the original Sky Striker or Night Boomer art, let us know in the comments.
And show us to them like in the same room together or something, so we know for sure. The Night Boomer, he's kind of cool. Night Ray, which is this the water moccasin repainted?
The hydrofoil.
Yeah.
So this is a crossover because this was a Cobra vehicle and this is now the Joe vehicle.
But again, it's wild it being, dark.
Yes, it should be Cobra.
Yeah, and the missiles too.
It's cool. Wow. Everything they put in this color scheme is awesome. It's just
it
looks so good. It's so awesome. Everything looks good. The Night Scrambler's the APC, and you could never be like, oh, the APC is really cool. It's my favorite vehicle. But you put it in this color scheme, and you're like, man, that's so cool.
It's neat.
So good.
It's neat. Yeah. And I love the little, because they have the seatbelt inside, and I love that orange.
Yeah, absolutely.
Looks
Is
so
the seatbelt
good.
red?
And a
Yeah,
steering wheel.
perfect. Like the steering wheel didn't need to be red, but
It's
perfect
cool.
as it is. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I mean, hang on, I'm gonna
Um,
hurt my heart by looking up the Night Boomer on eBay.
oh, Night Boomer.
Oh God, it's even more than I thought it was.
Okay, let's see. Night
It's
Boomer
so much higher
GI
than I thought it
Joe.
was. Like by a factor of like you had to times 100 of
Holy!
what I thought.
Oh
thought
my
it was.
God. So if you're watching, you see this, but if you aren't,
Times 10, not
1350,
100. Ugh.
$1,900.
In the box, 2K.
No,
Give it to me.
this is the box only.
Oh, that's only the box.
Is
Oh,
$2,000.
Ugh, that's a good looking box. It's clean. That's a clean, sharp box. Box only. Oh my God.
$2,000 for just.
Now those are the asking prices. All right. I'm gonna look up some sold listings.
Yeah.
There's not gonna be anything with a box. Oh, there is complete new sealed in the box. It's that Wheeljack slab place. $3,700.
Wow.
Sold.
Yeah.
Dang.
Well, I don't know if there'll ever be a day, Dan, where you can just stumble.
Well, no, I'm pretty sure they re-released it in 25th.
Oh yeah.
So I would pick that one over that anyway.
Yeah.
Because the build quality and the plastic is all newer and better and stuff. So
wow.
Or as I understand it, there's a lot of HasLab Sky Strikers out there that do not have homes.
That's true.
Be a real easy repaint
for just 15 cents a day. You could.
So if you're listening and you have 1, 2, 3 extra HasLab Sky Strikers, this is the guy who could reach out to that GI Joe team.
Yeah, exactly.
Be like,
exactly.
Hey, you got any of them HasLab Sky Strikers in the back?
Got them Sky Strikers back there. All right.
How many
Python.
you need? How many you got? Yeah.
Yeah. I just look up secondary market prices on Night Boomers right now. Okay, you're sitting on a gold mine.
Yeah. Coat of blue paint. That's all it's gonna take. We could set up. We'll set up this when Thew and I were up at the Hasbro headquarters there for PulseCon. They showed us where in the sort of main stretch, and I think they've covered it in their 1027 tours and stuff. They talk about like, oh, this right here used to be this. This was the assembly line. This is where it was. This is where they made the Sky Strikers. So I could be like, we can set those tables right back up. Just run down here with a can of paint. We're making money. What do you want to do?
Exactly. Hasbro, I know you're struggling right now. This is a great, great option.
Yeah, all I need is 50 cans of blue spray paint and one afternoon.
Yeah,
2 comp jets.
Oh goodness. All right, we got Python Patrol. We'll start off with the ASP, and just Python Patrol's not as cool as Tiger Force.
It's not, but I will say in this very rare example, I think this works better on this vehicle than the straight blue did for me. Okay. This, I think, actually, to me, makes it feel a little bit more lush. It's got that finish to it, where the old one was a very early, cheap vehicle. I had an ASP. I did not like it. But this, I think, with that, the scaly print and the yellow guns really pop nice. I think it works here.
Okay, well, there you go. Dan stamp of approval. How about the Conquest
and this? Scaly? I think it works amazingly well. I love it here. It is fantastic here. This is a great. Again, we got a GI Joe vehicle moving over to Cobra, and that paint deco works really great. And I don't mind the eyes on the.
I was gonna say you didn't like the eyes in Tiger Force, but you dig the eyes here.
Yeah, it's fine there. I do like that it doesn't even have a mouth or anything, because it's snaky snake.
It's not trying to force a mouth on me. It's just all eyes.
Right. Yeah. Look, but don't bite. Yeah.
Yeah. I get. I don't know why. For me, this doesn't do anything for me. I don't know why.
Huh. Yeah. Interesting. Weird.
I don't know. I just think snake skin look. I just don't dig that look personally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not like tiger stripes.
I don't know why that's more appealing.
Snakes don't fly. Tigers can fly, though.
You ever seen a tiger leap? I think it was flying.
Beautiful. It's the most beautiful thing you ever see right before you die.
But I don't. Maybe because I grew up in the American Southwest and just snake pattern is just too overdone. I'm just kind of over it. I don't know.
It's really, yeah, all right.
I
It's that
don't know.
deep in you. Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. I have no reasoning for it.
No tigers out there, so tiger was fine.
There's no tigers in Southern California that I was aware of. And then how about the Python, the stun Python Patrol?
Yeah, I think it works fine here. You know, that cockpit has always kind of looked like a snake head, and you know,
yeah.
I think even the sort of base color is pretty close to what this vehicle already was colored.
Wasn't it black with red?
Was it black? I thought it was more red. Is it? Nah.
I'm pretty sure it's black with like red plastic. I don't know what year that was, but 87.
86. No, you're right. Black with red. Maybe I'm just thinking of the red. The sort of, and it's real red on the.
It's very red.
86 ton. It is like red.
But it's kind of cool, and it does look like it has a snake face on it. The eye placement here is really good.
Yeah,
it's solid.
I just in general don't like that vehicle, but I do think the colored scheme works fine here. Not that I didn't have a problem with the original, but I think it works fine here.
We got some more Slaughters Marauders, everybody's favorite. This is so. It's just I don't know, lightweight looking.
It looks miniature. It looks like it should be a bigger vehicle. This is the Mario Kart version of this vehicle.
Yes. Absolutely. Because that's what it looks like with the driver in it.
Yeah. Which again kind of makes me like it more. I just need to see these things through the right lens. I need the right salesperson to be like, okay, I know you don't like it now, but did you think of Mario Kart? You're right. I'll take 2.
It's like now I want like a G.I. Joe Mario Kart game. That would be fun.
Yeah.
And then we got the Equalizer, and it's bigger. It's got some big guns.
Yeah, this is, you know what this feels like? It feels like if that last one was the first stage of the Pokemon, this is the second stage of the Pokemon.
It's the evolution, it's evolved.
Yeah. Yeah, it goes Armadillo, Equalizer. I don't know what the next one is.
Yeah, it's an okay tank, I guess.
Yeah.
It's fine.
You need a tank. How much money do you have? $5, you get the Armadillo. $10, you get the Equalizer. Yeah.
And then we've got the Lynx, which is this a repaint or does it just look like another one?
This says the body was originally the Wolverine.
Okay. That's where I'm remembering here. Okay.
Yeah.
But a new
it's got that same toe cable and everything on it. Yeah. They just sort of repurposed. Put a new gun on top.
And
which that's neat. That's neat that they, you know, repurposed that thing. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, not at all. And then we've got the last Tiger Force vehicles. We got Tiger Fish, which is a reuse of
the Devilfish.
And I'm sorry, Dan, there's a mouth on it with eyes. I'm so sorry.
This one's not working for me. I don't know.
It's not the most good.
It's not the most offensive, but it's fine. I don't love it.
Well, the original Devilfish is such a fun little vehicle.
It is. Yeah.
And so, and I, you know, that's a great little vehicle. And this is like, oh, that's a little too much.
Yeah, it's very busy. It's very busy.
Exactly. And then you got the Tiger Sting. You love a vamp. How about a vamp with tiger stuff painted on it?
Eye placement. The eye placement is just not working.
Yeah, okay.
And so in the pictures that Carson has here, the I think it actually works better here because he's got the eyes on top, like on the hood, and it really makes where the winch is look more mouthish, right?
Exactly.
Like front on mouthish. The box art has the eyes on the side behind the wheel wells, and then the mouth is like across over the top. Ugh, yeah, I don't like that at all.
No, but maybe the toy. Yeah, they did that on the toy. Yeah. Or at least that's the prototype toy.
Ugh. So yeah, like so when it comes to Tiger Force, I don't have a fundamental problem with the Tiger Deco. I just don't like the application in most cases to the vehicles.
Yeah. But you know,
very curious to see what they're going to do with classified, because that's coming.
Yeah, and I'm cool with it as long as they don't do the weird eye placement. Because I agree on that. On this one specifically, the mouth across the top is silly, and the eyes on the side
good at all. Yeah.
Doesn't make
look good
any sense.
No,
any sense. But yeah, there you go. And that is it, Dan.
Whew.
We did it. The 80s for G.I. Joe Real American Hero. 1989 for G.I. Joe Real American Hero. Wow. So yeah, what final thoughts on the whole thing of the 80s? And
it's iconic, legendary, Hall of Fame. What words can I possibly apply to it that would give it its due?
I will say going through all of literally over 1,000 minutes, over 18 hours, going through every single release. I'd be hard pressed to find, and again, there's another 5 years of this that we'll get into at some point of this toy line. Has any other toy line been as prolific in terms of how much stuff?
Yeah,
maybe post Return of Star Wars, but
sure.
It is
we're gonna do Micro Machines, right?
yeah, absolutely.
Jay, it's a car. I just don't care anymore. Can we please do something else?
But it's incredible. It's incredible what they put out.
For sure. Absolutely. Yeah. No, it's classified currently is one of my favorite lines, and traditionally, historically, G.I. Joe, the vintage line, was one of my favorite lines. 25th was one of my favorites. I've just always liked. I've always been a G.I. Joe fan. The lines that are very clear are yes, I like these things. No, I do not like these things in the line. They're very clearly delineated. Some things have bounced back and forth for sure, but yeah, no, there's just so much. There's more that I do like about it. Far more that I do like about it than I don't.
Mm-hmm. Is it the most shoplift worthy out of everything that you've shoplifted in your career?
What are we talking about? Ease of,
or just the one that you
most valuable financially? Because
I don't know, maybe got the most joy, you needed to, the one you needed to pinch the most. I don't know.
Was it G.I. Joe? To pinch the most.
Yeah,
what are we talking about?
I don't know.
Yeah, no, for sure. There was just so much more. I mean, you can't. Dan's shoplifting tips in 1985, the 80s.
I've been reading the comments, but it is a sub. It's a sub genre of this podcast.
They were easy. They were easy to steal. No, I'm sorry. That's just how it is. You can't. What are you gonna steal? Optimus Prime? How are you gonna get that box open? How are you gonna get that box out of there? That is not happening. So the thing, Transformers items that I was able to grab were things that were blister carded. So cassettes, it's basically just cassettes. Anything that was blister carded was easy. Stuff that was in boxes was hard. You're not getting that stuff out of there.
Exactly. There's no way. There's no way to subtly do that.
Starcom. I don't remember. Do you remember Starcom? Those little 2.5-inch figures, blister carded. What, you just give them away? I can fit 3 of those in my mouth on the way out. It's easy.
You're asking me to.
Exactly.
Oh man. But now it's a toy line I had the toys as a kid, but it was never my forefront favorite thing. But I've always appreciated it, and as a toy collector, I have a decent size collection. It's not insane or anything, but it is without a doubt an incredible toy line, and it's been fun going through it. 89 still had some really good stuff in 89, however many years, 8 years into the toy line. So really cool. We will get to the 90s at some point in time. It'll be a lot of fun. But like we said, we're doing Inhumanoids next, and it'll be, we need time away just to recoup or re-energize for G.I. Joe. But we gotta see the original retail price of some of these before we close out.
Oh, sure. Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely. No, I was gonna say when we do come back to G.I. Joe, it's a whole new ball game. We're doing Eco Force, we're doing Ninja Force or Eco Warriors, Ninja Force, DEF, all of that stuff. It is a different world.
Yes.
I don't know. We're gonna get into Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat.
Might as well.
And the animals and all that stuff. It's gonna be fine.
It's
almost
gonna
like
get
it's not even
weird.
G.I. Joe. Yeah,
It's gonna get weird. Oh man. Okay. 89 prices. Figures were 255 to 399. Nothing there. But like, let's okay. How about those weird robot things? How much do you think?
Like how much? So figures were like $2 to $5. We're talking, or $2 to $3.
Yeah, 255 to 399 is the range.
I can't imagine those things can't be more than $5, and I'm gonna say like 350.
You're about there. 299 for Devastator and Hovercraft.
Yeah. Okay. So
and then Tri Blasters 399 and yes, and so 399 or 299.
Yeah. Okay.
So that, I mean, you're getting a vehicle for about the same price or less than a figure.
Yeah,
terrible
pieces. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a great. How about that Battle Force 2000 Pulverizer with the accordion?
Oh God! If that's more than $5, it's a ripoff.
It is. It's $799.
Oh no! Get out of here! Get out of here!
Okay, the Cobra Condor.
I wouldn't steal that thing. I would smuggle things into the store and like put them in the box and leave them there, like things I didn't want. Like the opposite of shoplifting.
How about that Cobra Condor?
I'm gonna say 20. I'm gonna say $30.
Yeah, it was $19.99.
Okay, I was gonna say 25, but all right.
Crusader space shuttle with payload.
50. I don't remember what the Defiant was.
I think he was like $100 or something. $30.
Really? Okay.
And then I'm curious. I want to see. Do we have Night Force Toys R Us exclusives? It's $3,700 now. How much was a Night Boomer in 1989?
I'm gonna say $25.
$21.99.
Jesus
Go
Christ.
back in time, buy as many as you can.
Saying, like, man, like if you get that time machine, you go get that remote control car.
Yes.
Get yourself some Night Boomers. Like, leave the flags. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Leave the flags.
You return on, like, it's less space. Like if you get a few shipper boxes of Night Boomers.
Absolutely. Like if you're grabbing a flag, just grab it for the box and then cram it full of the remote control cars.
Yes. Actually, it's wild because what is a complete flag go for? Like $1,500 now, probably.
I haven't really been paying attention to the
Yeah,
secondary market prices.
But still, like you could get several flags for the price of one complete with box.
Crossfire. That's what it was called. The RC car was Crossfire.
Oh,
yes, the Crossfire.
You'll get caught up in there. All right. Well, that is gonna wrap it up for 89, as well as the entirety of the 80s G.I. Joe Real American Hero. Big thanks to Allison Choi for all of the research she did.
Always. Especially the weeks where we don't use it or we don't refer to it.
I felt bad because we were like, what is this? And then in the chat,
she's like, I don't know, it's in the research. Why don't you check the research? I'm like, yeah, we could, but I don't know.
Sometimes you just want to, free flow. Just whiff. Oh man. Dan, you said your Godzilla episode dropped today while we're recording.
That was a member exclusive video, so you either got to be on our Patreon or you got to be a YouTube channel member, and that's Godzilla 98.
Oh man.
So that's Matthew Broderick.
Wait, that one's 30 minutes. Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you know our channel lore. Greg's a big fan of that movie, so.
Ooh, that's exciting. Like again, and I'm a patron, so if y'all aren't a patron, you gotta just pay up,
really
folks.
Cheap. It's almost nothing.
It's you're almost asking for it to be shoplifted, Dan.
That's right. Not this one. This one's too big. You'd never get it in your pants.
That's true. Is that a Godzilla in your pocket, or and then what's coming up next week?
Today we shot Cops. It's a redo. Here's the thing. We've been doing some redos because our style has changed, right? We've evolved as creators, and the way we present information, the stories we tell, and the kind of access references and stuff we have at this point. So we're going back and revisiting some of the things that we've done in the past. And one of the things we already did was Hasbro's Cops. It was animated series, comic book, DC Comics, toy line from Hasbro. Without looking it up, our average videos run around 14, 15 minutes right now.
Exactly, yeah.
What do you think the runtime was on the first video? We did 6 years
old
ago.
Ones?
6 years ago.
All right, that's not that long ago. Okay, I'm guessing I have to go low. The way you're at 6 minutes.
It's 6 minutes.
Okay.
It's real
That's
short.
wild.
I'm like, I don't think I could make a 6-minute video right now. Just the basic things we put in videos now. I don't think we could make a 6-minute video. It'd be impossible.
But you know what's wild is like I was watching those then and they didn't feel like 6 minutes. I was like, this is so substantial, you know. I love when Dan does a history of video.
No,
you know?
it's nothing. There's nothing there. I don't even want to watch it now because I'm gonna be like, what am I even? There's nothing here. There's nothing here. So this video is probably gonna square out, you know, closer to our regular runtime.
Nice.
Whatever. So
that's why I like the remasters. I like the revisits. That's fun. That's fun. Well, cool. Well, that is gonna do it. Like I said,
taking a week off.
Yeah, taking a week off. And so, but you're not gonna be left with nothing on the YouTube channel. I'm gonna try and get permission from all of the guests that we had during GI Joe. But I want to post all of the videos that we haven't posted yet for GI Joe on the YouTube channel. So if you've listened and you're like, oh man, I wish I could have seen their faces.
Yeah.
You can do that, and then after that,
you got to clear those with me too, because I got to make sure I look okay. I was not. It was an audio only back then.
I wasn't aware.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. Well, that is gonna do it. We'll see you all next time. Hasta luego and goodbye.
Later.